Living in the land of BMW, Audi, and Mercedes and still not able to drive legally? Yeah, that's me, or maybe even you. Are you someone who is putting off getting your German driving license because it feels scary, overpriced, and headache? Or maybe you have heard stories about how getting a Führerschein here can cost more than a second-hand car. Not only that, bureaucratic chaos, language barriers, schools that doesn't respond, or just too many rules. Trust me, I'm with you. In 2021, I went through all of these already. Finished the paperwork, took lessons, gave practical exam twice, and failed both times. Painful part, I lost over 3000 euros from my hard saved money. I got completely demotivated that time and gave up. So it's raining. I don't like this weather in middle of May, or at least starting of May. I expect summers, but this is what is happening and I hate it. I hate rain. And I think because of this rain, it stops my mobility at all. I'm going to have a license. But this year, 2025, I decided to try it again from scratch. And in this video, I'm going to share everything. How I re-registered at a new driving school, what documents I had to submit, how long things took, and exactly how I prepared the theory test. And a small spoiler here, I passed with 100% marks. I want to help you do the same without wasting time or spending money on books or extra applications. In March 2025, I finally decided to try again. This time, I chose a driving school in my nearby city, Starnberg, not Munich. And believe me, it was less chaotic and cheaper. They charged 400 euros as Grundbetrag for the basic registration fee, way less than 550 euros I had paid back in 2021 for an English speaking school. I filled and signed a 3-page form for registration. They said I would get access to the learning app from school, and when I reached 70% progress, they will book my theory exam. If I wanted to use my own app, I had to pass an internal test first. Steps were, of course, paperwork again. So I went to re-register. For re-registering, I needed to submit a C test. My old one from 2001 had expired. An old first aid certificate, ADC translation of my Indian license, the school's sign form, and a new biometric photo. Did the C test at Apollo Optic in Munich, booked online appointment for that, took 5 minutes, and it was free. That was like a small win for me actually. On March 20th, I went to the Landratsamt with all the documents. And guess what? The school gave me wrong form again. Luckily, the staff there was amazing. They filled out a correct form for a school change, printed it, and I signed it on the spot. Then they said, wait for the bill at home. Once I pay it, I would be officially registered and could start the lessons. And by the way, if you are in a similar situation wondering whether to start fresh or just change schools, for me, changing school is usually the better option. It's a quicker and often cheaper too. Your old documents like first aid or C test might still be valid, and you won't have to pay the full application fee again. And starting a brand new application usually means more paperwork, higher costs, and delays. So I was relieved as I could just continue from where I left off. As this was new for me, so I made a call. I did not pay the school's fee until I received the bill and official confirmation from Landratsamt. I was having no point paying upfront if the process isn't registered properly. After all that, the payments were done. I got access to the app and the real work began. So I officially got access to the theory exam application on 1st of April, I think, and that's when I started real learning. Fast forward to today, that is 9th June, I have finally hit 70%. And it took me weeks to do that. Some questions were logical, some made absolutely no sense. There were nights I just started at question thinking what I'm doing actually, or what I'm learning, or what my goal is. My driving school had told me that I could only sit for the exam once I have reached this milestone. So today is the final one, and I'm there. Yeah, I think you would say that why it took so much long. I'm happy to share that things slowed down a bit in between because of my work, my YouTube channel, and all the daily family duties. And also, I did not want to rush it like I did it in my last try, that was in 2021. And that time I just had made one mistake in my theory exam, but now question seems very much changed and they are tougher, I suppose. Definitely feeling the pressure this time, but I'm keeping at it and I'm confident. Tomorrow I will inform my school so that they can book my slot. But eventually I made it to 70% progress and reported it direct to my school to book my test. And on their side, they recommended taking a slot 2 weeks later, even though earlier ones were available, because they wanted to make sure that I have enough time. I had a few appointments anyway, so I went with the 2 week slot. Quick tip here, if you're in a big city like Munich, Frankfurt, or Berlin, theory exam slots can fill up fast. You can ask your school to book an appointment in theory center outskirts of your city. So, which is actually totally fine. The test result is valid, no matter where you take it. While waiting for my test date, I doubled down on learning. I started noting down the questions I did not understand and took screenshots of important questions so I could revise them again closer to the test day. And by the time test day came, I had already covered 98% of the questions in the application. One strategy that helped, don't just study topics by topic. Mix in exam sample sets regularly. They simulate the real test format and help you spot the tricky patterns. I marked every difficult question to repeat them later. I did not go too deep into each topic theory-wise because I focus more on how the exam questions were structured. Because at the end, the goal is to pass the exam, plus learn the concepts. That modulation helped me more than just memorizing everything. And then, test day came. Finally, it's the Prüfungstag, the exam day for driving license, theory exam. So, you can see the nervousness on my face. I'm a bit nervous, although prepared. But let's see what happens. I have done best from my side. Now let's see what type of questions I get and how much I can score. Wish me luck. And guess what? I passed. 0 mistakes. All these hours, coffee fuel, late nights finally paid off. For some questions, like even though you have read it for like 10-20 times the same question, but sometimes in the exam it like you feel it like I have not read it, or even if I read it, this extra option is something like I never read before. So there I was also sometimes confused, but I just worked on the answer based on the logic and what I understood till now. But if you continue, I think it's easier. It's just time pressure and nervousness which can make you a little bit not confident. So be confident, that's the key. After that, I shared my result with the school and it took about 3 weeks to get my first lesson appointment. So yeah, real driving begins next week. If you have tried 2-3 times already and it's not working, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's a school and their way of teaching things, due to which you are confident in practical sessions within the school, but at the exam day, you become nervous. Therefore, the best would be to switch the school like I did if you feel something not good. You might end up clearing the test in one go. My idea of outskirt will work better for me or not. I will share it with you soon. Also, don't waste money on super expensive English-speaking schools. If you know basic German, that's enough. Test is in German anyway, and most instructions are super simple. While learning, I took screenshots of the most confusing and important questions. I've bundled them into a free PDF you can download, and you can find the links in the description. Part 2 of this video, the driving lessons, will be coming soon. So don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you from the driver's seat. Cheers. What about you? Are you going for driving license? Do you think it's easy? Or you think it needs a lot of time? I have to put a lot of effort, especially in practical. What I have heard, people have failed like 5-6 times and it cost reaches around 5,000-6,000 euros, which is huge. So I'm trying to pass it in one go. Let's see. I'll keep you updated. See you next time.